Today I have arguably one of the most desirable luxury SUVs of all time, the Land Rover Range Rover. This P400E is finished in Aruba Premium Metallic, and it has the Autobiography package. That means I'll be sharing my driving impressions and my impressions in the backseat being driven. Sitting in the back with the Autobiography Range Rover, obviously extremely luxurious back here. We have all of the features that you would expect from an executive full-size sedan. You can also get them in here. So we have full reclining seats. I'm somewhat reclined right now. Massage, heating, cooling, all of it. And sitting in the back, you do, no matter what the driver is doing, no matter what kind of road you're going over, you're just kind of gently going up and down and along, and all the bumps in the road are ironed out very well for the rear passengers. It's often the case that when you're sitting in the back of an SUV, that it will feel more bumpy than it would in the front because you are sitting quite close to the rear axle, and there's a lot of travel in this. But I have to say, with this car, that is absolutely not the case. The list of luxury features on the Autobiography just doesn't end. It's got 4-zone climate control and the best implementation of power rear windows and shades I've ever seen. Much easier to use than the competition. The Range Rover Autobiography also includes, as standard, this enormous panoramic roof. It's one of the biggest I've seen, and of course it has a power shade. Also, we do have a center console, and being a Land Rover, they want to make sure there are absolutely as many electronic devices in here to fail as possible. So this is of course power operated, and then we do have the power extension on the center console as well. It's very comfortable back here, and I can see why people often choose the Range Rover Autobiography as their chauffeur vehicle. Being the Autobiography, of course it has to get a special badge and special Autobiography tread plates. The Range Rover stamped on the body is a nice touch as well. Now all of that rear seat comfort has to come from somewhere, and it comes from here. The trunk is a little bit smaller than a regular Range Rover without the Autobiography package, but it's still a very decent size and comes with a good cargo cover to hide all of your valuables. And once your stuff is out of view, go ahead and close the power bifold rear tailgate. This is one of my favorites in the entire industry. Taking a look under the hood of this Range Rover, you can tell this is no run-of-the-mill V8. Here is a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder, turbocharged and coupled with an electric motor for a combined output of 398 horsepower and 472 pound-feet of torque. I was immediately very impressed with the integration of the hybrid system. So when you do give it some more throttle, it will kick on, but the power bands do join together very nicely. From the outside of the vehicle, however, the engine is rather noisy. You can definitely hear it, and it almost sounds like it's a diesel. It's clattering away. So the front seats have just as much adjustability as the rear, equally comfortable, although I must say this typical Range Rover armrest, I'm not sure if I'm a fan of it. Maybe I just haven't figured out the right spot for it for me, but I'm not using this really. We've got all the power adjustments that you could ever possibly need: massaging, heating, cooling. This thing has got everything, and a very tall driving position. You feel extremely secure when you're driving this car. The infotainment system looks modern and works well with this luxury interior, but I have to say it's on the clunkier side. The steering is absolutely effortless, and whether you're turning into a sharp corner or going on a very wide, gentle bend, the effort that it requires from you is the same. It just glides over the road, and with the slightest, and if you give it the slightest hint of which direction it is that you want to be going, the car will do it. The sensation that I get when driving this car is unique to a Range Rover, and even though this one has the hybrid powertrain, I don't think it distracts from that at all. The ride is so incredibly smooth, the car is very quiet, and while there's a lot of body roll, it is almost more luxurious because of the body roll that it has. The heft of the car and the way it moves around corners, the way it lurches under acceleration and braking, just gives you a sense of heft and quality and absolute peace and comfort on the road. This is a serene driving experience. Overall, I think that the Range Rover Autobiography P400E is just a fantastic luxury SUV. It certainly has some quirks, but it has a fantastic interior, abundance of torque from the hybrid powertrain, and if you've got $140,000 burning a hole in your pocket, this would be a very good way to spend it.